Hello and welcome back to this video. This is the third part of our video tutorial on how to create a note app. So far we've been able to dynamically create our note item or our note element using JavaScript by clicking on this button. Okay, we've been able to create it, but what we have not done yet is how to add the delete functionality to our app, so that whenever the user clicks on this delete image, it's going to delete the note item. And also, we've not added the date and time that the note was created. Okay, so that's what we are going to do in this video. We are going to start with the delete functionality. Okay, so to add the delete functionality to our app, what we need to do is to add an event listener. We're going to add an event listener to the note container, that whenever someone clicks on this particular item or this particular element, it's going to delete the parent element, which is, remember, this is the parent element holding this delete icon. So that's what we are going to do. So let's get the note container and want to add an event listener. Okay, I want to listen for the click event. Okay, and want to run a function. So for this function, we want to pass in a value, which is the element. Let's pass in an element here. Let's just say E, or let's say element. Okay, we want to listen for the click event for a particular element inside the note container. Okay, that's what we have done here now. In this note container, remember, the note container is what holds the element or the note item. So we want to listen for the click event in this note container. We want to listen for a particular element that is being clicked. Okay, so what we want to do now, I want to use an if condition and say if the element, okay, dot target dot class name. Okay, we want to target the element using the class name, and what element is that? Is the delete button. The delete button, remember, we gave the delete button a class name called delete btn. Okay, so we want to target if the element class name equals delete btn. Okay, if the element class name equals delete btn, we want to carry out an action. And what action is that? We want to delete the parent element of that particular button. So say element dot target, okay, dot target, we want to target the parent element, okay, dot remove. Okay, so what we have done here is that if a user clicks on an element with the class name delete btn, which is our button, it's going to remove the parent element. And let's take a look at this, our HTML structure. You can see right here that this note item, let me uncomment this. You can see right now we are targeting this note container, and we are saying that if a user clicks on this delete button that has this class name delete btn, we want to delete the parent element that is holding this delete button. And what is the parent element? Is the note item. You can see the note item is the parent element of the delete button. So once the user clicks on this delete button, it's going to delete this note element or this note item. That's what we have just done using JavaScript. So let's comment and let's see. Okay, so let's see, let's click on create note and let's just say 1. Let's create note 2, create note 3, Okay, so whenever we click on this icon here in the node 2 element, it's going to delete the node 2. As you can see, it has deleted the node 2, which is the parent element of that delete button. So if I should click on the delete button inside node 1, it's going to delete node 1. So basically that's what we have just done. As you can see, it has deleted all the elements: node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4, and let me say node 1. Okay, so if I should delete node 4, it's going to remove node 4, node 3, and node 2. So it's going to remain node 1. So what we need to do next is that we've successfully implemented the delete functionality in our app. So what we have not done yet is adding the date and time that the note was created. Okay, remember in our HTML elements, or in our HTML, we added the day, which is either Monday to Sunday, the month, the date, the year, and the time that the note was created. So let's quickly do that using the JavaScript. Let's go to our JavaScript. Let's add this at the top. Okay, so what we need to do first is to get the date. Okay, and to get that, let's declare a variable. Let's say let date time now equals new date. Okay, this is going to return the date time now, the current date time now of our system, or of the user system. Okay, and what we want to do, we don't want to use that particular format. We want to format it in this way. That's going to get the day, the month, the year, and the time. So to do that, we are going to declare another variable. We can say let date equals date time now. We want to format it using the US format. We want to say let date time now, okay, dot to local date string. Okay, what this is going to return is going to return the date string, because we are using the local date string. Okay, I want to set it to the US format. We want to set it to the US format, and we want to format it. Okay, because this is the format we want. We want the day, the month, the year, and the time. So let's format the date right now. So what we're going to say is that we want to format the weekday. We want to set the weekday. You can either make it long or short or narrow. Okay, we want to make it long. Then we want to format the day. Okay, we want to format the day. I want to set it to number. Okay, which is numeric. Okay, so you can say numeric. Then also we want to format the month. The month, we want to say the month should be long. We want the month to be long. And lastly is the year. We want to set the year also to numeric. Okay, so right now we've successfully formatted the date. Remember, it's not the time. We are getting the date with this method, this to local date string. It gives us the date. So next is that we want to format the time. How do you format the time? You can format the time using local time string. So let's do that. Let's declare a variable. Let time, let's say timer. Let me just use timer equals date time now. Date time now. Remember, this variable here is holding the entire date and time. So we want to format it to get only the time and save it to this timer variable. Dot to local. We're going to set it to local time string. Okay, and we want to also use the US format. Okay, US format, and we want to format it this way. we want to format it this way, just like we formatted the day. Okay, so let's say hour. We want to set the hour, we want to set it to 2 digits. Okay, then we want to set the minutes. We want to set the minutes, we want to set it to 2 digits as well. Okay, then lastly we want to set the seconds. We want to set the seconds to 2 digits. Okay, so right now we've successfully gotten the date and the time. Okay, so what we are going to do now, we are going to store this variable, both the date and the timer. We want to store it in a variable so that we can display it on when the user clicks on the create note. Okay, so let's create a variable for that. Let's call this variable, let's say full date, and let's just say full date time. Okay, we want to store this variable. Remember, I want to store this date and timer variable. So let's use the backtick. You add the $sign followed by the name of the variable, date. I'm going to pass it here, and also the time. The time, I want to get this timer variable. Okay, so what we have done now, we have stored the date and the time in a variable called full date time. Okay, we stored it in a variable called full date time. So what we are going to do now, we are going to assign it, or we are going to display it in our web page. Okay, remember the date variable here is the date time variable. So we are going to make this date time variable display the current date or the full date time. So how do we do that? We can do that here, which is before the note is being created. Let's just do that here. We're going to say date time dot inner HTML. We want to change the inner HTML to this variable here, or this value right here, full date time. Okay, we want to change it to full date time. So whenever we click on the button, the date time is going to get the date time variable, which is this, is going to get the current date and time, and it's going to store it to this HTML element. It's going to replace the inner HTML with the current date time. So let's save and let's comment this out so that we can test our code. Okay, let's create. You can see it has created it now, Sunday, October 11th. Okay, basically that's what we did here. You can see it has created it, so you can start writing your notes and you can as well delete it. Okay, so once you create a new note, it's going to create the day, the month, and the time of the note, so that you can remember, okay, this note, I created this note on this day. We are using JavaScript to dynamically get the date and the time, okay, and attach it to our notes. So that's it for this video. Maybe in the next video we'll be talking about how you can save your notes, how you can save your notes in your browser, so that when you refresh the page, the notes is still going to remain saved. Okay, because that's an important feature we need to add to this project, so that whenever you refresh the page, it's going to remain saved. So I'll see you guys in the next video.